Susan Brooks voted for the Monsanto provision. She also voted for CISPA, the Cyber Intelligence Sharing and Protection Act. Basically what that gives the government the ability to do, it gives internet corporations and Facebook, Google, email providers the ability to share their information, your information, with the federal government. It gives them immunity for any type of lawsuit or legislation. It allows them to break contracts, privacy policies that they may have had with you. And it gives them the ability to share all of your information with the federal government. It went to the Senate. It was passed through the House. Susan Brooks voted for it. It went to the Senate. And Nancy Pelosi herself thought that it was too much of an infringement on your civil liberties, that the Democrats had to halt the legislation in the Senate. So we have a situation now where we have, on a case-by-case basis, in this particular case, the Democrats saved us from some very intrusive regulation. Some regulation or the ability of companies to give your personal information away. Susan Brooks would stand aside and allow the government to look into your emails, allow them to wiretap you, allow the indefinite detention of American citizens. The National Defense Authorization Act, which she highly promotes, has even had a part drafting. She would give the ability of the federal government, and has supported the ability of the federal government, to indefinitely detain somebody. Now, I don't know, some of the people in the room that have been involved in politics or been interested in it for maybe 20, 30, 40 years, I would imagine if we can remember back 20, 30, 40 years ago, if somebody even said that, they would probably be laughed out of the room. It would probably seem pretty ridiculous that we want to give the U.S. government and the president, one individual, the ability to target somebody and say that person we believe to be suspected of having terrorist ties. We're not going to charge them with anything. What we're going to do is just pluck them off the street. We're going to go ahead and put them in a prison, Guantanamo, or whatever prison system, and indefinitely detain them, ignore their due process, the due process clause of the 14th Amendment. We're going to ignore that. We're not going to give them a trial by their peers, and we're just going to lock away and throw away the key. That screams all kinds of violations of the Bill of Rights. That screams all kinds of violations of our civil liberties. It's as if they're not important anymore.